I just had the most Mr. Krabs and Plankton swap episode thought. This moose grind is becoming the whole, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and I'm telling you, we're gonna get that secret formula. It's gonna happen. What's up, Soup? Mel's in here, Andre's in here. What's going on, Micah? Rip Caps, it's all good. I don't know why the bot didn't smoke that, but I suppose that's a good thing. So I wanted to check here. This was a spot where we were getting a lot of meese in the past couple of streams, and I think they show up late, but I just also didn't want to fast travel right to where we were going, because I think it's better to wait till 1400. Piebald today? Dude, I'd take anything. I'd take an albino, I would take a level 1, something. Just something to break up the monotony, because we're getting on one of those streaks again. No diamonds, no trolls, no rares, just nothing. I mean, no rares has been the entire thing. Been a long week coming, I feel it. Alright, well, great start, nothing there either. Why don't we just run down the coast then? Because I think that was towards the end of the last stream, if we had enough time, we would have done the coast, but we had like 20 minutes, that's not quite enough time to do the whole thing, so we ended up going elsewhere. What's up, Cryonics? How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. Hawkeye's in here as well. What's up, Hatcha? Working and lurking. I appreciate that. Appreciate you stopping in. Just shot a 400 kilo level 1 in your medved. You know, I never put it into a video. I killed one of those here on Layton. I record almost every level 1 of anything. Like, if there's a chance that it's a minimum estimate, I'll record it, because maybe they don't have the same, like, impressiveness as a diamond, but they're about as rare as a diamond. I didn't record this one because I'd killed like 10 level 1s. Of course, that's the minimum score, so go figure. Big male vibes today, dude. I hope today's today. I also hope that the stream is going to be smooth. I've noticed, so, my PC, like, force upgraded to Windows 11. I was hitting decline upgrade every single time. Didn't want it. I like for as many of the issues and kinks and stuff to be worked out as possible before I upgrade Windows. So, what, Sunday night? No, Saturday night. It just forced upgraded to Windows 11, and I've noticed it doesn't feel as smooth for gaming, so we'll see what happens. Tiger Muskie and the Angler, is that just a suggestion, or did something get announced? Hopefully today's the day. Man, that would be great. We should hit 1400 moose today, which would mean we reached the point that we left off on medved. I think maybe 2500 or 3000 if we get to that point and still haven't found it, which obviously that's not happened today. Then we might employ that strategy I've been talking about of kind of grinding all the maps and seeing where that gets us. Now that you've been on YouTube for 8 years, have you started planning the 10-year Discord party where everyone comes to your house to eat deer you shoot? Yeah, that's definitely the thing that I'm planning for 10 years. That would actually be kind of cool, though. Tiger Muskie was a suggestion. I'd like, you know, more big fish I think is a great idea. The 80-pound Atlantic salmon, the legendary, was a lot of fun. I think it needs balance because I caught that way too easily. But, just as fun as it is to catch, you know, diamonds or legendaries of specific species, because it's all relative. I don't think anybody can argue that, like, pulling 5, 6, 7 foot muskies out of the water would be one of the most fun things they could do. Are piebald whitetail not rare? Because the last few days I've got like 5. They are rare. I would put them in the category kind of like piebald moose. They're rare, but not nearly as rare as even, say, albino and melanistic moose. And the same goes for whitetail. Albino and melanistic whitetail are considerably more rare than the piebalds. That's the case for most species, but things like whitetail and moose, it seems like those piebalds do show up just a little bit more. Shot a big bull? Nice. Did I miss anything? Nothing yet. We're starting off by running the coast here. We'll see if it pays off or not. But one good thing about doing something like this is, like, I like to switch up the order that we do the running every now and then. Because if there, let's say there's a great one on the map, right? And let's say he's living, like, somewhere right over in here. If he gets to his zone last minute, 1600, and we're starting the run here every time, we're just running by him. He's just not in his zone in time, so this gives us a chance to maybe see things that are kind of waiting on that. Thoughts on the AR pack? It's really good. The 308 is by far the star, though. The 22 is perfectly functional, but the 22 Virant is better because of the 22 strat, if you're familiar with that. And the 223 is the 223. It's just the fact that it's not as powerful as the 243, and for that reason, most people still go with the base game weapon. I haven't seen it delivered, Soup. I haven't even checked the thing. I was recording literally up until like 20 after 2, and then I made the thumbnail because I had to cut out that beautiful large moose that's right there. So I haven't looked at it for a bit. Favorite weapons. Honestly, the 300's probably become my absolute favorite. If we spin around here, this thing has the beechwood. That's from the Hirschfelden Cosmetics pack. And then I put the matte black metal on the barrel. I just think, on top of the fact that it's, I would say, undisputed, like the best big game weapon, and by big game I mean your class 7, 8, and 9 stuff. Now it can look however you want it, really, with the customization, but I love that beechwood look. How long have you been on the moose grind? When did Great One Moose come out? That was with New England Mountains, which was right around December of 2022. So basically since then, total number of kills is not that high. It'll be about 2,800 between Medved and Layton, which is a good number of moose, I guess, but just everything that was going on over the winter and stuff, I didn't get to do as much grinding as I would have liked to. Because for bears, for instance, in the first about 6 months, we had like 5,000 kills. We just had more time in the summer than we did over the winter. Simple as that. The time... Oh, it said they attempted to deliver in the future? That's good. How many kills on Layton? It's in the area of like 1,350. We kind of figured, because the way that I do it in my head is I figure about 25 moose per run, which is close to what we get, but a lot of times we do get more like 30 or so. So it's very possible we're way over 1,400. It's also possible that we're right at that number, because some runs we get less. Just downloaded the game and I'm hooked? That's the way, man, especially if you can kind of grasp how the game works. Need zones and all that kind of stuff is really important. Not knowing how it worked when I got started made it take a lot longer for me to get interested. Boom, me sky. What's going on, Pizza? Have you left the dedicated server yet in Farming Sim? Took a break from Yukon grind, got a level 5 max weight diamond feral goat. Nice. I don't think I've ever had a max weight goat. We've had quite a few diamonds, but can't say we've hit 51. Couldn't deliver. Maybe they're doing work on the road again. Can you play Hunting Sim 2 live? I guess never say never, but I haven't messed with the game now since we shot one of the legendary piebald elk. It's just... the animal models it really is hard to get immersed. Like, the player model looks good, the environment's good enough, the dog's good, gun models are great. The animals don't look like real animals, and it just makes it really tough when you've got things like Call of the Wild and Way the Hunter and even Classic. It's hard for me to really get into that game. What am I on about? About what? What's up, Boris? Alex in here as well. It's going good, man. Hope you're having a good Monday as well. Dumb question, but why do some people call you Flantro? That's another one I should do. So I'm gonna, hopefully this week, on my Clips channel, I'm gonna do like frequently asked question stuff. So like, where does the name Flinter come from? I'll do that. Like, why do people call me Flantro? There's another one that I can never remember what it is that I need to, 12. Just explain that a little bit. But the Flantro thing, if you chill in this chat today, you'll probably see it. My name tends to get auto-corrected to things. So, Glinted, Glitter, Klinger, all sorts of things. So one of my friends one time, in making fun of that, picked something that nobody, because it's not a thing, that nobody gets auto-corrected to. He just called me Flantro one time and it stuck. And I like it. I don't know why. You said, have you left the dedicated server yet? Yeah, like for Farming Sim. I was just curious if you had gotten addicted to it again. What's up, Crackshot? Do you have any plays to the music playlist that runs in your stream? So, I don't think... maybe I can create a playlist on Epidemic Sound. I'm not sure if I can create one that would be linkable. That's something I should do. But, one of the challenges is, it's mostly songs that, on their website, have changed title and stuff, so it's hard for me to find them. Got back into the Hunter a few days ago. When did they add turkeys to Layton? That would have been with... New England? I think, is that when they did all the backfilling? It was, because I was in Tennessee when they announced it, and that was in November. So, early December they added that. So there's now pronghorn on Rancho. There are pheasants on Hirschfelden, Quattro, and New England. I guess that was not a backfill. Turkeys on Layton, obviously. Wolves and Capercaillie on Medved, like all kinds of stuff. Everything except for SRP got something added, I think. Come here. Come on, there we go. That was getting really annoying. You should play Hunter Ultimate 2008? I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that. I might have to look into it. Luke, thank you for becoming a shoosty, by the way. Certainly appreciate that. If you are not in the Discord, be sure to join that. Kyla has it linked in chat. I didn't think the alerts were going to work. Nice. Usually the member ones don't. Anyway, join the Discord, link up your YouTube, get the member role, take advantage of all that good stuff, and enjoy the green name and emojis here in chat. I've started enough on my phone that it doesn't autocorrect anymore. I had it to where... Because I used to do more Discord interaction on my phone and stuff. Now it's mostly on my PC. But the Hunter Classic would autocorrect to where like the H would be capitalized and stuff. When you're in the community long enough, I guess your phone starts to pay attention. No bulls here? Well, that's weird. That happened last time too, that last run we did. It was on Twitch on Friday. Which if you didn't know, I stream on Twitch. Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Anyway. No bulls last time either. Flank. I like it. Don't you dare play Hunter Ultimate 2008? I'm gonna have to look that game up, because I'm surprised I'm not familiar with it, at least in some way. Got my great one Red Deer after only 800 kills, not bad. One of these days I feel like we're due for a short grind. The whitetail was, in a way, a short grind, though I would say it was pretty average for what most people get their whitetails in. Our moose grind now is going pretty far, the bear grind's over 5,000, almost 6,000, and our red deer one went to 5,500. The graphics are dog water. I mean, if it came out in 2008, though, to be fair, Classic was 09, but still. If it's 15 years old and the graphics aren't that good, see, I can get immersed in games like that more, because talking about Hunting Sim 2 and stuff, when the rest of the graphics are actually kind of decent, and then the animals don't look good, it makes it tougher. Because, you know, we played a lot of games on this channel, older games, Deer Hunter 2005, Cabela's Big Game Hunter 2004, I think it was. Is that the oldest one? Might have played... Oh, what was the one? The Big Game Hunter for April Fools was like 1999. I can actually get quite immersed in those games because you get used to the art style and everything being as is. So, if this game that you're talking about is a consistent art style, I can 100% play it and enjoy it. Can I help you grind? I'll stick to single player with the grind only because what happens is, like, you know, I've got a certain route that I run and I shoot moose in certain areas and stuff. If I then start to, well, if someone else joins the map, right, and starts to shoot moose in other areas, then there's more respawns and potential, like, zones getting deleted from hunting pressure and stuff. For the sake of being able to keep track of what's what, I'll stick with single player for that, but I appreciate the offer. Alright, we got 2 here. That guy's the best moose. Oh boy. Somebody needs to buy 300 rounds. Anyway, that's a bigger moose than we shot all of Friday's stream, so the fact that we're just over 12 minutes in, definitely will take that. Listen, not by choice, Soup, okay? How many kills are you at? In total, about 2,755. Here on Layton, 1,355. How many great ones do you have? Just the 2. 1 whitetail, 1 red deer. It's okay, I'll come steal your super rares and great ones. When was the last time I killed a... Well, I guess it was the whitetail. A super rare in single player. Because the kudu was multiplayer, the moose was multiplayer, the water buffalo was single player, actually. And then the fox was multiplayer. Guess it's about an even split. What was your favorite lake for red deer grinding on Quattro? You know those 2 really small ones? I'm thinking they're almost like even like east-west. They're just south of the big lake in the far northeast. There's 2 little lakes, and they would be loaded with red deer. And the nice thing about a lake like that is you can fast travel to it, you can go to your tripod or whatever, shoot everything. If you've got a tent on the other side, fast travel that, or run around and claim them. It's not like some of the really big lakes on Quattro where, like, you know, you shoot some from here, then you run another couple hundred meters, then you shoot more. That definitely slows things down. So I like those spots that are quick, get in and out, and still kill like 10 red deer. Luke, thank you for the super chat as well. I really appreciate that. Chicken Mac, what now? Is this lyrics to a song I don't understand? It could be. Either way, I appreciate it. This is the type of situation I need text-to-speech for, but I know that I'm gonna be used. What do you think the new map's gonna be? Has Beard given any reason to not think Greenland? Because I still want it to be Greenland. I'm not sure that I think it's going to be, but I want it to be that. Just killed a 273 melanistic whitetail. What? That's huge. Congrats, man. Should collab with Rooster. I've been seeing a bunch of his shorts and stuff. I wasn't, like, familiar with him at all as he was, say, up and coming, but what's he at? Almost 40k subs, if I'm not mistaken? Broncos 13-4. So you were saying that, like, prior to the schedule release, right? Have you gone through and ticked off wins and losses? You feel like you have it figured out? What's up, Kian? Hope it's somewhere in Europe. Yeah, I think, considering... What was the map before New England? Reventuli? And then it was like 2 North Americas in 2021, so... Definitely time for a change of pace. That's interesting. Wonder if that's where the bulls from this spot have gone to. Let's scoot over there and see if we can see anything else. Texans were in the South this year. Dude, it could happen. Both Southern divisions, both AFC South and NFC South, are wide open. I think all 4 teams have a genuine shot at winning it. I think the Jags probably in the AFC South are the front runners. In the NFC South, I mean, I don't even know. The Falcons are so improved. Saints are probably still okay. I'm not sure with Derrick Carr. Ah, a level 5, huh? So how many times did we run right past this on Friday? I don't love his chances of making it, but he's got a good estimate. And then a pretty nice 4 there. The wind is kind of bad, so maybe from here we can just kind of lung shot him and then go for the heart shot on the 4. I think we nailed that. Now, we didn't get the heart. Did we get a lung? We did. Cool. Sag troll rack? It probably is. Did he really what now? I missed something. Jackson said Africa 2.0 is the last map for Call of the Wild. Is that the way he said it? It was, so I wasn't watching that stream. I think that was Tuesday. What did I record for last Wednesday? I was recording something during that stream. Typically I am. EW stream happens to be my recording time. I don't get to catch most of them. Either way, the way it was described to me was he said it was like, unless Call of the Wild's dying, they won't do it. It was a weird, oh, he did say it like that. Okay. Maybe I misunderstood. You want it to be Australia? I'd like Australia. So, this is not something that's talked about as much anymore. But there was a time when the Call of the Wild devs effectively said, everything that exists in the Hunter Classic is going to come to Call of the Wild one day, and there are 2 Australia maps in Classic, and if they could somehow find a way to, like, combine the 2 in Classic, and then maybe even expand beyond that, that would be pretty sweet. This is the 4, I think. Yeah, 235 for him. Surprised he died closer to where we were than the 5 did. This dude, is there any chance he's got some extra, like, width on him? I hate those brow tides. It's probably based on something, but I'm just not a fan. Anyway, troll indeed at 269. So that makes our last 3 5s now on Layton trolls. But dead moose is a good moose. Is that a moose over there? No. Can't do much after Africa. I mean, I do kind of understand, like, the thought process. If you really, like, if you go all out and make an amazing Africa map, it would be kind of only down from there, probably. Exact same rack as your Reventuli troll earlier. Maybe I'll then get a cool thing like you did. Best part about that moose is the 69. Wait, why? Can you explain? Greenland, polar bear, Arctic fox, hare, muskox, etc., and backfill rock ptarmigan and reindeer. So, would it be reindeer or caribou? Because I thought it was bear and ground caribou. Regardless, muskox, caribou, polar bear, and then Arctic fox, and maybe Arctic wolves. I don't know if you can squeeze them into there. Those are the species I'd really want. Like, that's why I want it to be Greenland. Big male. All right, let's see if we can remember to claim it. We're down to, look, we have 12 non-chambered, not chambered, 12 rounds that are not chambered or in the magazine. That means it's time. Great one showing up. My male mule deer is 69%. Nice. I'll be curious to see what mine is. Now I'm hitting Aurora Shores again. So I actually wanted to ask you, and I guess I'll just ask it here because we could talk about Way the Hunter in a Call the Wild stream, why not? Do you know what the typical caribou like life cycle is? So they go, there's one I'm watching that was 2-star adult, 3-star mature again, 4-star mature, 4-star mature again. Can he get to 5-star next cycle or is he going to die? I don't know if what I just said made sense. What state am I from? I am from Pennsylvania, born and raised. I think they should do a UK/English map. Just do TK's IRL hunting adventures and turn them into Call of the Wild. He's got that Muntjac hunt on the Me Hunters channel if you guys want to check that out. Muntjac in this game would be fun. Plink him with like the 22H or something. They're typically born, live a while, and die. Oh my goodness, what would I do without you? Now I know. Alright. Are there 4 here? There are 4 here. Why did you... Okay. Didn't think he was gonna flee. Ah, just too late. Got 1 round. I don't think that hit where I wanted it to, but I'm happy with it. Was that a brain shot? Yep. So what I tried to do was hit him like here. We were kind of close, just a little bit too early, but it turned out better. Nice. So clip worthy. I was in need of a clip too. Like I wanted to bring something back to the clip channel. It's been a little bit. That'll work. Bro went flying. It was realistic in the sense that it almost made like his front legs stop working, so he almost like stood up on his hind legs for a second. It was kind of neat. What map should I hunt? Boy. Revan Thule, why not? What Jackson said about Africa 2.0 felt strange to me. Come back. Because the way I see it, they could easily do another 2 to 3 Africa maps. I also see it that way. Maybe from the perspective of, like, you know, the business side of things and try to sell DLCs and stuff. Maybe it's hard to, like, do Africa... So say they do a second Africa map that doesn't include elephants, rhinos, whatever, you know, the stuff that everybody wants. Would that then just cause more people to be upset? Because I do think if you release that map that's got, like, your big 5 species or whatever, greater kudu, all these things that everybody's been asking for, do then future Africa maps sell very well? It might be actually tough to do a bunch more. I wish they would. I'd be all for it. But maybe it isn't the best for, you know, marketing and all that good stuff. We should get closer here. That'd be smarter. Trying to fill my Layton Lodge. Should I hunt Eurobison or Rosie? Ooh. You know, Eurobison are not too bad to hunt. Now that they drink from 10 to 1400, they're pretty enjoyable, and they run so slow. Like, if you spook them, if you're not ready for them to show up, you can run alongside them basically and spot them. They're fairly easy. I'd probably go for the Eurobison, but you could also consider them to be an easier one and chase the elk first. Because walleye, I've never caught a walleye. So we went, there's a place called, it's technically the Allegheny Reservoir, but it's kind of also referred to as Kinzu Dam. I think it's like Kinzu Campground or something is why it's called that. But anyway, we went there, and they've got a bunch of walleye. So this was going to be like a 4 or 5 day trip. My cousins were there a few days earlier because we were still in school, so we had to, I think we took a day or 2 off, and then got there a few days later. It was pouring rain. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but they did something with the reservoir Either they opened up like the water flowing in, or they closed off anything coming out. Whatever it was, the water level went up in that reservoir so fast that by the time we got there, they had already had to move their campsite like 3 different times. And the picnic tables at the regular campsites were about 60 feet out into the water. So there was just no accessing where the fish really were. So we didn't get to do any legit walleye fishing. They had caught quite a few before we got there. And I've talked about this before. My cousin made beer battered walleye and on a campfire. Like, that was the best meal I've ever had. It was so good. Have you ever fished? I don't even know what that says. Pima tuning? I'm definitely not, but I also don't know what that is. Big water is scary in situations like that. My dad was like, so he's responsible obviously for my brother and I, because we were 16, 17, maybe younger than that, maybe 4. It might have been like, oh yeah, so end of my freshman year, however old I am then, 15? And my brother would have then been like 13. And then my best friend was there too. So there were like 3 kids that my dad's trying to make sure don't die. The water's crazy. There were a bunch of people out on boats, so there was like a lot of waves and stuff too. Or wakes. It just wasn't great getting across there in the canoe. And then we just didn't even go out in the canoe. It was mostly like try to dry out camping gear throughout the day. We didn't do much fishing, to be honest. Loading screen is blacktail. Loading screen blacktail is gulls. You know what's funny? That's not even the biggest one. What the heck are they? I've never. Hello? Why are you guys there? Any biggins? Make my Layton trophy cabin chase for a bunny easier? I guess not. Tropical rainforest map would be super cool. Almost Pickabeen Bay-like. From Classic, if you're familiar. I wish they'd add eagles to the game. Can you hunt eagles anywhere? I'm sure somewhere that's possible. Went river fishing like 3 times, haven't caught a single thing. That's what the first couple weeks of trout season was like here. I just couldn't catch anything. Kyla was catching quite a bunch of like creek chubs and stuff. But then lately with the fly rod, they've been a little more interested. Been able to catch quite a few. What's up, Southern Boss? You'd hunt with eagles? Would you be interested in like that falconry and stuff? I don't know how I'd feel about that. What's the biggest beard you've got on a tom in real life? I've literally only killed 2 jakes. I should have killed a nice long beard 2 weeks ago today. Oh, by the way, fun little turkey thing. So this was the first Monday I haven't hunted in this season. And that's not like, you know, I've been spending months. This is only the 3rd Monday of the season. But yesterday was Mother's Day. We were at my parents till late, you know, drinking the whole thing, having a good time. So we didn't get back here till 11. I was like, I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to turkey hunt. I'll take the day off. We even tried to put some birds to roost last night and didn't hear any. So, like 6 o'clock this morning, my brother gets up for work, looks out the window. There's a fairly decent 2-year-old tom in the yard, which is 150 yards from the blind I'd have probably been in. So that's cool. But, yeah, I don't know, like a 5-inch beard on one of the jakes I shot. Nothing special. What's up, mistress? I get into falconry just so I can have a pet owl? Are owls also used for hunting? I guess it would make sense. Do you stream on Twitch a lot? More than I stream here on YouTube. It's typically, like, through most of the year, it's 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. At the moment, we're also streaming Farming Sim on Sundays, though. Where is that other meese? I guess they're 12 knows. The GoPro battery holder can charge in my Beats case? Nice. Hello. You good? I didn't see it come up that he couldn't find the blood. Oh, I guess he can't. Alright. Why thank you so much for the super chat. Nice buck in your profile picture, by the way. Do you have a vid explaining Way the Hunter genetic stuff? Not yet. Mel did one. It might not be exactly what you're after, but it was kind of like explaining what you should call and stuff from your herd, so maybe that could kind of help you out. I do want to try to make as in-depth a video as I can as far as my understanding goes. And the thing is, oh, he's laying right there. I can't guarantee that my understanding is exactly correct. Did you miss anything? We had a troll. Troll level 5 is one of our first kills. Let's, when we fast travel, because I want to get this probably best spot on the entire map at the moment. done before their drink time ends. Gotta buy some boletos. Squishy, thank you for the quack and the super chat. Appreciate that. It also is 12 times funnier because your profile picture. Well done. I was wondering a bucket list animal you'd want to kill in real life. Number 1 bucket list animal for me is caribou in Alaska. I'd like it to be an archery hunt, but I'm not picky. Like, at the end of the day, I want to also go home with a caribou, so it's got to be a gun hunt. Like, I ain't complaining. 7 rounds. So much we don't know about Way the Hunter, and it should stay that way, by the way. It's better to not know. Which is going to make it challenging for me to, like, walk that line of not going too far into speculation. Like, there's some stuff you can kind of guess at and probably be correct, but you gotta be careful not to go too far. I'm just having trouble in Way the Hunter with the age cycles and how long. Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. All cows. Oh. Another cow. Just theories, basically. But that's what Call of the Wild started out. For a long time. And even on some level, still. You know, it would be asked in stream chats, how do respawns work? And my answer would always be prefaced by, like, nobody actually knows. This is all a theory, but then explain theories. So I guess I could maybe do Way the Hunter like that. There we go. Couple of bulls. We, I think, deleted the zone last time, so we will use our structures. If you don't go in properly, it doesn't count as you being in there. Let's see. You know what I think just happened? I'm pretty sure he jumped in front of the second one and we hit him twice. That's what it looked like. How did you buy a continuous so fast? Here, I'll show you since we're fast traveling. On console, it's actually easier to buy continuous because you just mash the A button. On PC, what you can do, I don't remember who figured this out. I don't think it was me. It may have been. I can't remember. So you go to whatever ammo you want to buy. We're going to go with the 300 ammo because we'll just buy more. So you go ahead and click buy. You don't have to mouse over to do this. You just press enter. So I'm not mashing enter. That doesn't work. Mashing enter, nothing happens. So you click buy, hit enter. Buy, enter. So I'm just doing that. Much faster than clicking on everything. That takes forever. Mr. President, get down. We've had a couple of good, like, get down, Mr. Presidents in this Moose Grad. Yeah, I think so, Keen. That's something I'll try to get knocked out. Probably not this week because, crossing my fingers, one of those caribou makes it, or Sitkadir. I did, like, so after that video, I had it in my head the way I was going to do it. I was going to end it and then, like, go into future Flinter mode and be like, you know what? No. We're going to see what happens. So I did another age cycle and then nothing got to 5-star. Both Sitkadir are still there. Caribou are still there. I got to pass another age cycle and I didn't have time. So, next time. What does the percentage mean in Way the Hunter? It's just like the percentage of the max for genetic potential. So, the best way to describe it is there's some randomness to the score and stuff, but it's potential to be max score. So, like, if it's a 90%, it's likely to only be around 90% of the possible max. That's not exactly how it works, but I think that's a good way to think of it. So, it's, for most species, 88, 89% is what's required to get to 5-star. Predators can be more like 85. Usually because they live longer. So it's going to be interesting to see, now that, in the patch notes for the update that currently has the albino bison and stuff in the dev build, it also says they're going to adjust predator and big, like, large animal life cycles. So probably, like, black bears go to 39 or something. They'll maybe cut that in half. Those sort of things. I want to know if that also means the genetic potential required for a big one is going to go down. Or up, sorry. The rip of deleting one of your favorite zones accidentally. I know, I just did it down here. It's the worst. Are age cycles the same amount of time for all animals, and if so, how long? Yes, so if an age cycle, for instance, say you're watching like a 4-star whitetail, and then he ages and goes to 5-star, every other animal on the map has also aged in 1 year. That doesn't mean their star rating has gone up, but their age has gone up by 1 year. The time that takes is kind of in dispute. It's definitely 3 in-game days, but you also have to spend a certain amount of real time, so you can't just rest forward 3 in-game days and expect aging to happen. Some people say you need about a half hour per day, so an hour and a half in total. I typically spend about an hour per day, more like 3 hours total, just because I don't want to get myself confused. Like, if I think aging's happened, but I've shortchanged it and it doesn't happen, then I'm not sure, like, where things are in the age cycle. So I think it's better to spend a little more time than less. Do you still have the Ford Ranger? I actually never got a Ranger. So I had like an 06 F1, like an 06. I had an 06 F-150 that was basically at the end of its life cycle. It was about to be retired. And in stream we had talked about that I had planned on getting like a newer Ranger, because mostly I wanted the gas mileage, because I do make a lot of lengthy trips, whether it's to Pittsburgh and back for either getting Kyla for flights or taking us both somewhere to fly, or like down to West Virginia to hunt with Will, down to Tennessee, Indianapolis for the ATA show, like all these longer trips. I thought a smaller truck, better gas mileage would be good. And then a 2016 F-150 for a really good price popped up when we were in West Virginia, actually. And I messaged the guy and ended up buying that. I love it though. Definitely not as great gas mileage, but I cannot complain about having the extra room and stuff. And, you know, towing power, all that. It's funny you asked that, Eli. I've played Clash of Clans a few times over the years. I haven't messed with it in... Oh boy. Last time I played it... Maybe Kyla will remember. So I was in Georgia. And... it was when she was working at Kohl's. So almost 2 years ago. She was working at Kohl's then. So like, there was a day when Kyla's parents were going to go out on the boat with her grandparents, and like this whole thing was going on. And basically I was going to stay home and watch the dogs. And I was like, I need something to do for 8 hours or I'm going to go insane. So I just downloaded Clash of Clans. But yeah, I haven't messed with it in a while. My dad killed his first turkey while reading the instructions on his call and it had, wait, 3 spurs? Or 3 beards. I've never heard of 3 spurs. Speaking of that, I never told my turkey story. No, I did. There was another turkey story that happened. I told that one on Sunday stream. Never mind. So where's that moose they called? Time flies? I know. Not you. There's whitetail everywhere. Probably that guy there. Or potentially that one. Squishy, thank you again for the super chat. In your opinion, what's the hardest animal to hunt in this game? As far as, like, just finding that species, like, just not talking about what's the hardest diamond to get, just as far as, you know, how many of this animal are you going to get in a certain time frame, it might be alligators. Because you do have to make a good shot on them. You'll lose a bunch if you don't make a good shot. What else would be up there? Jackal are tougher now. I still don't think chamois are that hard despite the lack of drink zones. Lynx are everywhere on Reventuli. Probably Jackal and Gators. And Gators is only because of the shot requirement. Favorite map between Quattro and Tearoa? Probably Quattro. I didn't like Quattro when it came out because I didn't care for the Ibex, but it's kind of grown on me. Jackal and Coyotes. Coyotes were not bad on Rancho when Rancho came out, but to be fair, they're definitely harder now. Connor, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Like your profile picture, that is Joey Porter Jr., right? What number is he wearing, by the way? Does anybody know? That stuff was... oh, he's wearing Ike Taylor's number, I think. Year's going so fast. I sat in class in January saying, geez, my exam's so far away, and now it's a day away. And the real question is, are you prepared for it? Have you done any steelhead fishing? No. So the best place to do that around here would be Erie, which is like a 3.5 hour drive. Next time I shoot a buck that I want to get scored for the record books, which hopefully will be this year, we'll see. What I ought to do, because the place I went to get him scored was like almost in Erie, I should just plan like a 3-day trip and go steelhead fishing. That'd be kind of fun. I'm a Titans and Tennessee Vols fan, so the Titans drafting Levis hurt my soul. So I'm not big on college football. I'm guessing, I can't even think of where Levis was from. Kentucky? Well, actually, now that I think of it, probably they are rivals based on proximity. I think I understand what's happening here now. I think we hit him twice. Gonna take 2 hits to bring him down, because I don't think either is gonna hit anything. Get a bonus 1 or 12 in there. He'll die, it'll just take a minute. The Mighty Moosing Grind. I like that better than the Great Moose Shoost, to be honest. The problem with the Great Moose Shoost is that I think if you read it wrong, you'll think that I'm saying we're killing the Great One Moose in that stream, which maybe will happen, but probably not. I meant where's some good zones to hunt for moose. I'm grinding for a Moose Great One. Which map? And if you already said, I apologize, because I've completely forgot what's going on now. To answer your 3 spurs, one's a 1/4 inch, the others are 1.5 inches. Really? That's cool, I've never heard of that. My Rancho's completely dead. Dude, I feel the same way. I loved Rancho when it came out. And part of it was because they were trying to fix FPS on console. When they moved things around, they just made it to where it's not as fun to hunt. And that sucks, because it was really enjoyable. You could go out there, you could expect to probably run into, you know, maybe like a diamond, what were common diamonds? I felt like I found a lot of diamond coyotes. There was always the chance for rare pheasants, diamond pheasants. Good number of diamond whitetail out there. Great One whitetail grinds were a thing. It's just not quite as good now. It's still the best pheasant map, so we got to go back at some stage. I really want a rare rooster, but the last like 6 times we've gone, part of it's pheasant hunting and part of it's just looking for anything on the map. We haven't killed like a single trophy. Have you been watching the NBA playoffs? I don't really follow it. I have some level of understanding of like what teams are moving on because I see it posted on Twitter and all that. Where are we at? Are we into like semifinals, quarterfinals? I don't know. I do know that the Lakers beat Golden State, and going back to like before the tournament started, I think someone asked who I thought was going to win it, and I said the Lakers because if it's rigged, that's who would win. So far, they're still going. What's up, Nolan? I'm doing good, man. How about you? Barnerman's in here as well. What's going on? Really like for Hunga. Which other map should I purchase when I get home? Let me think. Look at that. We gotta get a picture of that. Man's is just straight chilling. If only that was a diamond. That'd be way nicer. Kind of boxy looking frame. And a bunny ruined that screenshot, but that's okay. Wow. Leg and 3 flesh hits. Rough. Alright, next we gotta go here, which this spot has been... Oh, that's where we have the troll, I think. Flyers or Penguins? I really don't follow hockey at all, like even less than I follow basketball, and to be fair, I don't follow basketball. But I root for the Penguins. What do you fly fish for in your area? Stock trout mostly? They don't, so we have a creek that runs through our front yard. They don't stock it, so that's just like creek chubs and whatever potential stock trout end up there somehow, because I think they stock the dam that it runs into, or I can't remember how it works. One way or another, it's possible for trout to end up in there that are stocked, but it's mostly just creek chubs here. Then, yeah, I'd rather fish for natives than stock trout. They're just more fun, but, you know, whatever's there, I'm not gonna... If a fish bites and I can tell it's a stocky, I'm not going to try to let it get off. Hopefully that's how the Great One falls. Can you imagine? So they, I'm pretty confident that they, like, programmed moose to fall showing both antlers. Because I've noticed a bunch of people's Great One screenshots have both antlers up. And Kyla's Great One moose was like that. But that way, like, leaning against a rock, I don't know. I just think that's cooler. Is a slate or box call better for beginner turkey hunters? Box call is easier to operate. Slate's going to give you a little bit more versatility, I think. If you can learn to use a slate call, like if you have the time to learn, I would do that. If you feel like you don't have the time to really master it, probably just go box call. Here's the thing, kind of like, I'm even going to say well-known secret about turkey hunting, but not everybody knows this. Your level of calling often has very little to do with the success you have. If you get the right bird on the right day, he'll come into a squeaky door on a hinge. If you get the wrong bird, the world champion caller's not going to call him in. It's so much about, like, setup location and being on the right bird that's, like, not with a hen, that's searching for a hen, that's maybe in that kind of desperately seeking phase. Because if you don't know this, what you're trying to do in turkey hunting is reverse engineer nature. So typically, the hens go to the gobblers. So by you sitting there and impersonating a hen and calling, you really got to have just the right situation to either frustrate or, you know, annoy whatever the gobbler into coming into where you're at, instead of what he wants to happen, the hen go to him, which there is no hen. Mouth call is more discreet. Definitely, I would say that requires the most mastery. What I would honestly do, like if you're a true beginner turkey hunter, like never hunted before, get a ground blind, like a cheap doghouse blind for $60 or whatever, and set that up. I'm telling you, you are about invisible in a ground blind. Turkeys just don't see them. I'm not saying, you know, do jumping jacks in there, but if you're fairly slow moving around in there, they just won't see you. It's truly incredible how just oblivious they are when there's a ground blind involved. If you watch it, the video just came out in February, but it was 2022's turkey season. I had a bearded hen walk to within like 3 yards of my blind, and I'm moving around, I'm filming it. Like I said, I'm not doing jumping jacks in there, but if I were just sitting up against a tree, that never would happen. Trying to seduce the gobbler? I mean, yes, but even still, I would imagine a seduced gobbler still thinks the hen's coming in. I don't know, maybe not. Hope you're talking about real life? Yes. I'm curious, by lore, do you mean call, or do we mean something else? What's up, Andrew? Just started a moose grind on Yukon. How long do you think it'll take? It seems like there's such, like, a major disparity in moose grinds. A lot of people get them in less than 1,000 kills. Those that don't seem to go 3, 4, 5, in Mel's case, almost 8,000 kills. You just never know. Got my red deer great one on Saturday, about 2,700 kills in. That's not too bad, maybe a little above average. What bow do you shoot? So depending on what happens, I may have a different bow than this fall. There's definitely potential for that. The bow that the one that I shot my West Virginia buck with, that's a Darton Spectra E30 2. So Darton, the way that this worked, you guys probably remember if you've been watching my real life hunting content, we were partnered with Obsession for 2 years. And it was actually through Hunter's Friend Europe. So basically, Hunter's Friend Europe changed affiliation from Obsession to Darton, and therefore we did. So this was basically my first introduction to Darton bows. I'd never shot them before, really hadn't even heard of them. I love them. I don't know, even if they were to drop the partnership, I don't know that I would stop shooting their bows. I really, really like them. Okay, this is awkward. None of these moves are standing in a place we can shoot. Probably the best move is just going to be to wake them up a little bit. It did what we want, just going to take a minute. Grinding sucks on console. Those that grind on console and like succeed, or not really, but especially those that stick it out and do get their great ones, I have so much respect for that, because it is, I can only imagine like the follow-up shots on controller. I don't know if I should have reloaded, probably not. I don't even know what's shot and what isn't. Well, some moose are going to die, I guarantee that. I don't know. Should have gotten a couple. You get used to controller? I don't know if I would. Maybe. Speaking of that, I don't want to spoil your thing in Classic Mel, but the thing that you told me about, like, that you accomplished, I realized that because you play most games on controller, that's 12 times more impressive. They don't exist on controller? What's that, great ones? Did we get all 4? I think we might have. Because that last one that ran through to our other side shouldn't have ended up over here. Still learning mouse, I was definitely better on controller. I think in the end you'll probably, like, end up being better with mouse and keyboard. It just gives you a little more flexibility. Maybe we did only get 3. Oh, we hit a cow at some stage. Okay, that makes sense. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. So, I guess we'll try here. No follow-up shots? Yeah, that's fair. I don't remember what I did it for. I definitely did a Rancho hunt on controller, and the reason was Rancho got big time delayed for consoles, so I think what I did was actually focus on pheasants. I just wanted to see, like, can you kill pheasants on controller? Is that fast movement when they take off, because you have to shoot them out of the air, is that feasible? And I struggled with that. I really can't, like, fast follow-up shots that have to be placed well. One thing with the shotgun, right? I don't know that I could do that. But how many whitetail did you kill to get the great one? It was like 1,600 or 1,650. I kept a pretty close track, but, you know, basically 1,600. I wouldn't even say plus or minus 50. I generally estimated low, so possibly up to 1,650. He moved a little bit. Did we get along there? It's going down, so we must have. 9.1k kills. Which species, Logan? Bring the controller vids back? So the problem that I currently have is that Shadow chewed through both cords that I used for controller that were long enough to reach from my PC to my chair. So I guess I gotta get a different controller cord. What would be a good... Because I'm definitely not doing a grinding video with the controller, because the only thing that would do is make me feel like I'm just wasting my time because I wouldn't be as good. So what would be a good, like, controller hunt that's not that? Whitetail for 9.1k, that's rare, man. Most whitetail grinds don't go that long. Hopefully it's just around the corner. Exactly why. I feel like the moose is maybe the most random one yet. Because you've got... I can't think of the guy's name right now. He just shot his 12th Great One Moose, or technically shot his 12th Fabled Moose. I think he messed this one up. But, you know, to get 12 in any amount of kills is absurd. And then you've got, you know, people with 5,000 kills. I'm at around 20, whatever the heck, 2,800. Mel went to almost 8k. It just, I don't know what, other than true randomness, I don't know what it would be. If you did ducks set up in blinds with decoys, that would be a good controller vid to do. Could try that. Maybe geese on Reventuli, just because I need those couple of species yet. Every now and then a bull spawns here, but none right now. Alright, next is going to be... We should go up through here one of these days, but we'll try to stick with spots, because we didn't get down here last time. Actually, maybe we should just go there now. Get that done. Hunt Rev on controller? I think that'd be a good one, because that does give a lot of, like... We could do the geese hunting that Soup talked about, or duck and geese hunting. We could also try to get raccoon dogs. That'd be a challenge. As we're doing that, there's going to be ptarmigan, grouse, those sort of things. I like it. What medal does it give you if you mess up a great one? It gives you a gold medal, because as I remember it being described, a great one's not necessarily like a step above a diamond. It's like a variation of a diamond almost. So you don't downgrade to diamond, you downgrade to gold, just as if you messed up a diamond. I don't know, I have an easier time going right to left with these shots. You know why it is? Look what direction the recoil goes. It's left. That's why I do it. I never realized why I did that. One of these days I want to make like a subtle grinding tips video. I think shooting right to left's the way to go. Calls off the grind everything with the 300 just so first shot kills. Yeah, so I think Kyla was doing that even on PC, and a lot of people did with Red Deer. Just grind with the 300 because no matter where you hit them, they die. The problem was a lot of people grinded Red Deer on Reventuli, and or not Reventuli, Tearoa, and melanistic Red Deer were being screwed up all the time because people thought they were just a common because it was in the dark. Now they drink in the daytime. That's not a problem. What's up, Simon? Welcome back, man. Back was in here. How's it going, dude? Is Layton the best map for whitetail Great One grind? I'd say it's probably the third worst behind New England and Mississippi. New England's not that bad for whitetail either, but even still. Rancho and Reventuli are probably the best. And this time I actually do mean Reventuli when I say it. Do you know who Hypofied is? Or Hypofed, maybe? I don't think so. On PS4, my Great One Red Deer was 6k kills, but on PC it was about 600. My Moose on PS4, I had 2 Great Ones in under 1200. PC 2500. Yet, I mean, definitely RNG. Sometimes it just feels like there's almost something else there too, like... And it wouldn't shock me if there is, just some other factor in the formula that maybe isn't even possible to, like, control. Maybe it's, I don't know, the millisecond at which you harvest things, and then if you do it enough times and it adds up to 12, you know. There could be a million different ways they stimulate randomness, because there is no true randomness with PC, so it depends on how they've done it. It definitely feels like they've done it in a way that has really varied results, which is good. Like, you don't want it to be, hey, kill 5,000 moose, you're guaranteed to get a great one. It shouldn't be that. How long do respawns take? That's a good question. At first, so, not to give you the entire history on respawns, but there was a time when it was kind of thought that respawns didn't happen until you changed the time. And when Te Aroa came out, Kyle and I were grinding fallow deer on her Te map. Honestly, I thought those moose were over 200 and wouldn't spook, or I wouldn't have shot that. But anyway, we shot all the fallow deer, and then I looked down in the river, and there were more just walking in as if they had just spawned. So I think it can happen immediately, but I think what happens is there's like spawn locations or something. This is a theory. Just based on what I've seen, and you'll see here in a minute, we're going to change the time and then change maps. I'll explain why. I think respawns happen almost immediately, but they can happen at any spawn location. Let's say, for fun, there's a spawn location in the top right corner of the map, and this moose respawn is going to be down here. It's going to take like an hour for it to get there, and it's going to feel as if it takes an hour for that respawn, but maybe all it is the time it takes to walk to that spot from where it spawns. I say that because if you just change the time, and typically change maps, that seems to help too, they just appear in their zones. So there's something going on there, where maybe if the spawn location's close, they show up. If it's far, it takes a while. It's also convoluted. It's all theories, speculation, based on experience, but that's the best I can kind of grasp. New England. That's pretty good. Anyone know if there's a threshold to Great One spawning? Like, if one's already spawned, say on another map, or even another species. Other maps and species shouldn't affect it. It's definitely, I can't say any of them have been legit. It's possible to get multiple Great Ones on a map for sure. Anytime that 2 Great Ones have spawned in the same herd, there's always questions about how legit that has been. So, I don't know what the deal with that is. Man, I don't know why that thing looked weirdly red. I thought that, dang it. I thought it was like a fabled birch or something. Anyway, there may be some things in place, but it's so rare to get one that even the probably thousands that have been shot in the community by now isn't enough sample size to make any definitive observations. 338 just ain't as good as the 300. The follow-up shots make the 300 better. That's exactly how I feel. The moment I first tried to grind with the 338, it was on Yukon in early access for the 100 power pack. As soon as I tried it, I felt that follow-up shot difference, and immediately I just said the 300 is going to be better. The respawn place for moose is dead center of the map. I feel like that could be abused. I don't think there's just one respawn place. Maybe there is. I just feel like if that is actually the case, somebody would be grinding by sitting in that place and just killing them as they pop up over and over and over again. What's up, Grandmaster? Do ultra rares, rare great ones, even exist? Moose definitely did, because there were commons. I believe the devs even told us it was possible for albino piebald melanistic ones to spawn. When they removed the common first, they also removed that ability for those other rares, what you're talking about, ultra rares to spawn. And I think probably that means it was a mistake, but it was definitely possible for a time. It's believed that whitetail ultra rares exist. One was shot, but it was when fur tights were screwed up on Rancho, and it's really hard to say what that was supposed to be. So I don't think you can count that. And then red deer and black bear, obviously there is no ultra rare for them because they only have set fabled fur types. What's up, Rack? How's Florida this time of year? Probably warm. Not wrestling gators, I know, right? 338 is better on controller. Honestly, though, man, I don't know that the 338 is more powerful than the 300. Just, like, in my experience, it seems like they're pretty much the same, if not even in the 300's favor. If you mess up a great one, it should be none, like grounded animals. I could get on board with that. I'm not sure that it matters, like, what they end up as. Like, I don't think, say you mess up a great one, whether it says gold, silver, bronze, or none, typically I don't think anyone's going to care. It's just going to be like, dang it, that's a messed up great one. But I like the idea of being none, like, it puts them in their own category in a way. What is an ultra rare? I'll just give you an example, like an albino great one whitetail, or a, well, I think whitetail is the only species that can have it. Melanistic great one whitetail. Hot and mucky. Glorious. For me, the 300 is better than 338. I definitely feel that way as well, having tested them. I love the 338, like, it's fun to shoot. I like the sound of it. I like the animations and stuff. I hate the magazine flip. I think that's stupid, but that's neither here nor there. It's just not as good for moose. For bears, because they're slower and stuff, 338 is great. I use that for bears. Not for moose. Imagine it just says oofed. That would really make you feel like you done messed up if that's what shows up. Best lake for feral goat. They changed things around. I haven't hunted God, I'm calling that Reventuli today. I haven't hunted Te Awaroa in long enough to really know for sure. It used to be like the far north lake. It may still be, but I'm not sure. 338 was so overhyped, sadly. I was really excited for it. I thought it was going to be a game changer. I feel like the 7mm is in ways a game changer, but not the grinding game changer I expected. Feral Goat's Middle Lake, there you go. Or Middle Lakes. Time to go back to Tay. Here's the thing with Tay. If I do find a diamond, and it's say a fallow deer, or a red deer, or feral goat, it's just things that aren't that exciting, sadly. I guess the great one would be a thing, but I mean, red deer have been herd managed to the point that nobody cares about diamond red deer, to be honest. Unless it's like a 270. Fallow deer just are common diamonds. Feral pigs would be fun, they just drink at terrible times. I don't know. I think about hunting Reventuli every now and then. Dang it. I think about hunting Te Awaroa every now and then. But I just never feel like there's anything that... Like, my odds of finding something that would actually be interesting aren't that high. Maybe I'm just thinking about Reventuli because that's all I hunt these days, trying to get those darn geese. Do you know what the great next one is? I think I need to go to bed, is what I think. I just thought of something. So there's a troll red deer up here somewhere. If it's here, we'll kill it real fast. I saw it when I was doing something here. I think the screenshot for the Hirschfelden thumbnail I took right up here, the windmills, and I saw him. Just for the heck of it. Anyway, the question, do you know what the next great one is? No. I think it's likely, because they've confirmed they're going to stick with the base game species. I think it's likely to be a Hirschfelden species. So that leaves things like Eurobison. That's a really commonly suggested one because there's a new multi-mount for them that came with the most recent update. Fallow deer would be a likely one. I'd love to see wild boar or roe deer, but I don't know, it might be hard to get people excited about them. Reventuli's a great map. Reventuli's underrated. I really think it is. To Awaroa? Yeah, that's the one. Alright, the last couple times we haven't had any moose here, and they were spawning here so much. Last stream, I don't get it. Oof to level 5 Sika. Ooh, that is rough. Now, see, level 5 Sika and Diamond Sika were common when Te Awaroa came out. And now they're not, because Sika deer are just hard to hunt for some reason. I think so, Trent. I'd love it. Look at the roe deer in Way of the Hunter, like the 5-star roe deer. And look at them in Call of the Wild, and tell me that diamond roe deer are as good as they could get. If you at least make a great one roe deer, at least there's something to strive for beyond that. Sika antlers, honestly, you can do a bunch of things with roe deer. Have you heard of... There's an actual name for it, but they're often referred to as wig racks. In whitetail, they're often called cactus racks. It's a thing where, like, the bases of the antlers fuse together, and it just kind of causes this big mass of antler that often won't shed its velvet. They look insane, and I think that'd be a cool, great one, along with a bunch of other variants that roe deer can be. Is Way the Hunter worth it if you like Call of the Wild? Way the Hunter definitely requires a little more patience than Call of the Wild, but I think it is. The biggest thing that I think Way the Hunter has going for it is the animal models are fantastic, and it just kind of like Classic. It's trophy animals, like the reward system in that, like, how rewarding it feels to get trophies in that game. It's where it should be, in my opinion. Like, when you get a 5-star animal, it feels special. Now, there's some, I would say, if you watched yesterday's video, the 5-star Rosie I shot, I was like, okay, that's like my 5th one. Less cool. I'm also not going to mess up this shot at 50 yards, so it wasn't as, like, hype. But there's so many different species now. You've got 3 different maps. Assuming a 5-star caribou shows up at some time in the near future, like, I know that's going to get my heart pounding. I think it's worth it. But in the end, I guess only you can make that determination. The core for my beast is on the dryer. Are you sure that's not the one for the heated vest and stuff? Because it might be. The Spirit Brown Bear, I think that's just uncommon. Pretty sure both Spirit and Blonde. There was some confusion when they changed their fur types. And people thought that Spirits and Blondes were rares, but I don't think they are. Release for the Angler on console, they said this summer. So hopefully like June, July, but who knows? This summer might get pushed to the last day of summer. You never know. I get excited for all 5 stars, they're just really well done. Yeah, like, I guess I was still excited to see that 5-star elk. The difference was I didn't have, like, the fear of messing it up. Whereas, like, if it was a caribou or things that I don't have many of, every whitetail and mule deer still gets me because I just love trophy deer. It's still, like, you know, a little bit of adrenaline going, like, don't mess up this shot. Might never find it. Oh, thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, and thanks for watching the videos as well. Let's see, no small meese coming around the corner this time. This spot's been producing, actually. Let's keep on moving and see if maybe there's a bull walking in. Yeah, the European hare aren't good. Any rabbit prior to... Was it the European rabbits? Which are very different from the European hares? The first ones that added, like, proper fur. Every rabbit prior to that looks like garbage now. And it's not even that all the models are bad. It's just, in comparison, they're not nearly as good. You've messed up a caribou? Yeah, you messed it up alright. Well, no bulls this time. Makes our job easier. Later, Eric. Appreciate you watching. We'll hopefully catch you in the next one. What's your dream trophy in this game? I mean, on one hand, like, a melanistic diamond whitetail to complete that multi-mount would be amazing. I really would love a bighorn leucistic diamond Cape Buffalo, though. I think that's my dream trophy, all in all. They're just rabbit models that look nothing at all like a hare. To be fair, I don't know if I know the difference. The best time for turkey hunting in real life, I guess you're asking? Is that what you mean? What's up, Spicy Goldfish? How's it going, man? Do fabled fur types show undisturbed vegetation? Yes. Imagine that being your way of finding out there's a great one. I had this random thought in my head today, by the way. I'm curious what you guys think about it. So imagine... I'll set the scene for you, and then my idea will become clear. Imagine you're running around on Layton, right? You're hunting, like, I don't know, hunting blacktail. And all of a sudden, your dog just disappears into the brush and comes back holding a great one shed. Would that not be the coolest reason to be like, oh my god, there's a great one on the map? I think that'd be cool. It should only happen if there's a great one spawned. And maybe it should only happen if there's been several sessions completed, but I think that'd be amazing. What's your dream? Call the WoW Trophy, no super rares or great ones. Albino red fox? Can I just have a gold? I've never killed an albino red fox. I've had half a dozen piebalds and like 3 or 4 melanistic. You guys like that? See, so there would be an argument to be made that like the game shouldn't tell you when there's a great one. But I think most people who are interested in hunting for great ones anyway are probably in some way actively searching. Plus, you still gotta find where it's at. I think it'd be kind of neat. What just happened? Oh, he turned around? Nice. Alright, well, we actually have the 22 for once, so why don't we... Sorry, Cal. Just get you out of the way. I think... Just drop that into the chest. Even got the heart shot. Will we remember to go claim it? Probably not. Oh, I just realized that last spot we forgot to check the actual zone. We'll go back. This is why I said in a recent survey that this game really lacks creativity. There's a lot of stuff they could definitely do to go farther. Like, on one hand, probably from a game development perspective, simplicity is good because complicated things cause bugs, but I don't know, that one's not that complicated. Do you even know there were albino red fox? Yeah, from the very beginning there has been. With level leucistic diamond, turkey been 0.01 off twice now. That's nuts, man. Hopefully you get another chance. Is 7 a.m. good for turkey hunting? Depends on what state you're in and stuff. I personally... So there's different ways to hunt turkeys. Okay, without getting too much into the weeds. One thing that's often done is called putting a turkey to roost. What that is going out the evening before you're going to hunt, and either just listening, or maybe using an owl call, or something to try to make them gobble. Turkeys will do something that's called shock gobbling. If they hear a loud sound, sometimes they'll just gobble back at it. Kind of as like a challenge to whatever made that sound. That sort of thing. And owl hoots is a common one they'll respond to. So if you get that, I would sneak in like a half hour before it gets light. Like get in pitch darkness so they can't see you. Get set up maybe 100 yards from where they're at and try to call them in. If you don't know where a turkey is, if you have no clue, what you could do is go out kind of right as, not even at first light, like as it's starting to get light. You can go out and you could do the owl call thing again. You could do a hen call, try to get a response, and set up on one based on where that call's from. The last option, if you have an idea of where turkeys might roost, again, I'd get there in pitch black if you can, and just sit there, be quiet for a while, and start calling. There's so many different ways to hunt them. There isn't a right way to do it. It's so situational that it's just going to depend on your thing. And to be honest, man, be willing to fail. Like at this stage, I've failed so many more times than I've succeeded with turkeys. I don't think I'm a good turkey hunter, but hopefully I'm going to get there. But you don't learn without trying stuff. So like if you got to spook them, if you got to risk stuff, you know, don't risk wounding them for the heck of it. Don't yeet terrible shots and stuff. But it's not the worst thing to learn based on, you know, your hunt going wrong. What the heck? Oh, I don't know. It looked gray through there. Thought it was like a leucistic or something. You know, multiplayer or single player? I'll always pretty much grind in single player. Would you ever consider going after another great one whitetail on a new map like Reventuli, Mississippi, or Rancho? It's becoming less and less likely that I do. So here's basically how I look at it. If at this next zone we kill a great one moose, and then like in the next few days we also then kill the great one bear, then I'd maybe go and hunt for another great one whitetail. But as is, like I just have other things that I don't yet have that I want to grind for. And if I get them, then I'll definitely do like a whitetail grind or something again. But it's hard for me to like justify spending time after whitetail again when I still haven't gotten my bear, still haven't gotten a moose. And the longer that goes, like let's say Beard confirmed there's a great one coming with this next map, did he not? I want to say he said there is a great one. Maybe that is just in my head, but I thought that was said on the last stream. Even if he didn't. Like I said, I don't watch him, but I thought somebody said that. If we just assume there's a great one coming with this next map, that just puts me that much further behind with yet another one. Need a raccoon dog and a widgeon first, and the geese still. It's confirmed because he said he knew what it was. Well, alright. Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair, Mel. I get that. Recently got my first diamond. It was a 271 pieball diamond whitetail. What on earth? Your first diamond was a super rare? That's wild, man. Where, oh, where did that moose go? There he is. 1,500. So, did we make it all the way to our northern spot? I don't think we did because we got screwed up by not checking the actual correct spot. Gotta move that tent one of these days. So we did go here. I think I forgot to claim this, so I guess we'll go get that real fast. Trickery in the chat that day? Oh. Were people trying to convince him to say things that he wasn't supposed to say yet? I want all 5-star on Way the Hunter, but the badgers are putting you off? Euro badgers? Is it European or Eurasian, whatever they are? Or the North American ones? I'm guessing it's probably the North American ones. The foxes are the ones getting me. I've never even seen a 4-star fox. I've seen maybe one 3-star. Alright, now we go to the next spot. That's kind of pinkish hunting pressure. I don't know, maybe we were here already. Both? Fair enough. To be honest, just knowing how much you've hunted Transylvania, I was guessing maybe you had the one there already. Welcome back, Pizza. If you kill a turkey before the season ends, I'll give you the most credit. Well, that would be cool, and I hope the... I don't even want to call it advice, because I don't feel like I'm in a position to give much great advice, but the information and stuff, I hope it can help. If you get one, though, that's going to be entirely because of, like, the time you put in and all that. There's so much to learn with turkey hunting, but it's so much fun when you get into it. The only thing, like, if you're not a really morning person, which I am not, I don't get to hunt as much as I'd like because, like, just naturally, I fall asleep around midnight, and that makes it really tough to get up at 4 a.m. day after day. What is your least favorite map? God, I hate to say New England, but it's New England. It's the newest one. Like, I don't know. When it came out, people kept asking my opinion, and I was like, I don't like it, or I don't love it now, because it doesn't have anything new. But basically, my opinion was that I thought around now, like in this intermediate period between maps, that it was going to be great. I just thought, you know, it's got the combination of species. It's got your moose, your whitetail, your black bear, both species of foxes. I thought it was going to be a really fun, like, hey, let's just go hunt this map and see what happens. I don't know, I just can't enjoy it as much as I want to, and it sucks. Like, I want to go out there, I still want a diamond bobcat, even though they're the exact same as the Mexican bobcat, like I'm considering it a separate species. I have no interest in going to New England. Makes me sad. I think the best way to get a great one would be hunting, and Doc says there's a set of tracks nearby you should check out, and it's great one tracks. It shouldn't be Doc, it should be, what's that guy's name? I don't know if it's the same last name every mission. Baden, because it's bad, I think. They should just have him randomly be like, hey, I saw a big male over there. Go check it out. Insane to think Call of the Wild's 7 years old? Honestly, it is. Like, it does not feel like that to me. I guess technically it's 6.5, but close enough, right? Should be the AI voice. Oh my god. What is it? Those are some nice tracks nearby. Do you want to follow them or something? Those are some nice tracks. Do you want to follow them? That's what it is. Did Baden die in the Layton missions? I don't know if there was a Baden in the Layton missions. There may have been. He's on like every other map, though. Alright, so where do we need to go? We should go here, but we still got some pressure left. Let's try this spot again. A lot of times they're not here till the very end, but maybe. Honestly, I'm waiting on a Kyla. I feel like it's going to happen. Yeah, that's definitely true, Trent. You do have to appreciate the consistency of new content over that much time. I mean, 2 maps a year, every year. Other than release year of 2017, Medved came out, and I mean, technically that's 3 maps, right? You had Layton and Hirschfeld as base games, and then Medved as a DLC. But since then, it's always been 2 maps a year, a weapon pack usually, and some other type of content, whether it's like the dog or the high-tech pack, I think it's called. There's plenty of reasons to, you know, wish that they did some things better, but they've kept up with it and made it into what it was in early 2017 was not good. Like, it had major problems. So for them to remedy that and keep it where it is, like, by far the most popular hunting game probably ever, right? Maybe Cabela's games sold more on console, but I don't think so. It's impressive. What's going on? I know. Great one, the most dangerous game style is just Bodden himself. Hunt him down. Turn into like a COD lobby or something. Versus an AI. Ooh, that was low. I don't think we hit him at all. I don't know if you guys could see that. We hit a bird. I don't know if you shoot through birds or not in this game, but I definitely saw a bird go spiraling down. There's that one dead. Where's the big guy? Nope. Nope. They always go this way. We're in a tripod, so hunting pressure is not going to tell me anything. There he is. He's hit for sure. The way he's running. So I guess you can shoot through a bird. Think you shoot through them? We must, because he definitely was running like he was hit, but I don't know if you guys saw it or not. I know the stream's going to be slightly like blurrier and stuff, but I definitely saw a bird go spiral into the ground. It's like, was that Randy? Who did that? Randy Johnson? A pitcher absolutely murdered a pigeon. Not on purpose. Is there any spots on Layton that are best for rare fur types? Like Mel said, it's random. You can make the argument that places that are loaded with animals are maybe the best for rare furs because you have more animals that potentially could be rare, but...
Those are some nice tracks. Want to follow them.
There it is. At the same time, you may have rares in obscure spots. It is RNG. Is Mississippi Acres worth it? If you're interested in hunting gators, maybe. Otherwise, not really. Since you brought that up, after the last update, my SRP map, all outposts and stuff are locked again. I don't want to do the missions again since I technically beat that map, but ugh. Really? I've heard of people having that issue. Now that I think of it. That was Randy Johnson? Look at me knowing baseball things even though I don't follow it. It was fun to watch. We watched the Braves like every night when we were in Georgia. It was fun to root for a team that's good. The Pirates were like pretending to be good for a while. I think they're now kind of bad again. That's disturbing, like disturbed vegetation. I bet that's not what you meant. Poor bird, at least it was instant. Yeah, it never, probably never felt a thing. What's up, Steve? I'll never forget the first time I heard the AI voice and was so confused. That's one of my favorite clips on the Clips channel, is hearing that for the first time. Because I just misunderstood the way that it, like, people were telling me it was a Siri voice, but I thought it was like a glitched robotic voice of the actual voice actor for the map. It was not that. It was way better. All right, let's check this spot real quick. We haven't been here today. No, that's definitely true, Sue. But considering the Pirates have been bad for approximately 50 years other than a brief stint in the 90s, not a good sign. Grind's going alright today, baseball. Still no rares, which is just unbelievable to think about. But we did have a troll. I think it was on our first run, and we've seen more big fours today than we had in a while, so that's encouraging. Just hopefully that continues and we see some, well, actually, screw fives. Just give me a 10. That's all we need. That was so good, Squatch. It was a good time. We had a couple. Was that the same stream as the Caper Cayley thing? Or maybe that was a separate stream, but the Caper Cayley and the Moose Rodeo were the same. I feel it, K-Flow. Like, I think about the same thing. Like there's, I'll show you here. There should be 2 moose over there. We'll get down a little bit closer. There's a spot, it's one of the only spots moose spawn that I don't grind. Right down in here, I've got a couple of bulls along this too. It was just cows, but some bulls that moved over there. But I know I've got some bulls down here and I just don't grind it. It's a pain. I really don't do much in Balmont anymore either, because it doesn't produce much of anything. But that doesn't mean a great one hasn't spawned there, so I gotta go check that eventually. The old blacktail rack? What's that? The loading screen? If it was the loading screen, then yes, I actually didn't look at it. Okay, so there was a mail warning call in there too. What's a troll in this case? A level 5 moose that's a gold instead of a diamond. Most level 5 moose troll these days, which sucks. That's a cow. Sounded like the warning call from the mail came the same direction. Maybe not. I mean, worst case, he could have fled too, but worst case, we gotta see him if he's still around. There should have been 2 though. One in that same area, another one like that size. Oh, maybe it was him. This would be really interesting to see if we can swing that. Just hit a heart shot on one of the tougher follow-ups. No big deal. My best moose shot today is a 241.97 gold. 4, that's just sad. Dude, on Friday, we did a moose run, or a moose stream. Whatever that is in total. Usually like 4... No. A run's 30 minutes. Yeah, about 4 runs. I don't think we killed one bigger than 220. It was absolutely pathetic. Just nothing good at all. Just made me cry. After the stream. I didn't cry on stream. I'm not a baby. I like watching this game, but I get burnt out very quickly. I don't know how to avoid that. There was definitely a time where I was more kind of in that category. I think it's just playing it a little bit less than I used to. Because when I was in my apartment, like there was nothing to do. Like there's no going outside and like just chilling. There just wasn't anything else to do other than basically play something on my PC. So I did that a lot. And I played Call of the Wild definitely to the point that I would get burnt out with it. But at the same time, I was mostly playing Call of the Wild. Like I didn't have a Way the Hunter or a Classic to kind of break it up. Maybe that's something you could consider, is like throwing more of those types of games in there. Man, that's not good, Zaggards. Sorry to hear that, man. Can you flash your perks and skills for some screenshots? Are you in my Discord? Because you can do a command. It's COTW perks, I think, and it'll bring up screenshots. Now that said, they're not my current perks. They're my normal hunting perks. What I have now is kind of like a optimized for grinding perks. So if you want to see that, I guess I can bring them up. Total hours played is 6,151. You need the angler? What, on console? Alright, well the cows are here. That might be all that's here. Okay, that's kind of lame. We'll get down to this bottom spot then, and I think that's going to be it. What's your Way the Hunter hours? Let me look here. 370 something. 376. Is there a way to increase the draw distance for foliage and animals more than the max? I'd be lying to you if I said no, there's a mod that does it, but I just wouldn't mess with mods of any kind, because here's the thing. Even if that is the only mod you use, once people know that you are willing to use that mod, they're gonna assume that you're modding other things, because it does give you an unfair advantage over like other players. So that exists, but I wouldn't get it. Oof, we never hit those shots. Favorite combination for the Great One Moose? I'll tell you, some of them have kind of grown on me. I've wanted the oak fur type with the big typical rack. So if you know Mel's Great One Moose, that, except It's right side matching, because hers was like an uneven one. I've seen some really cool ones though, like the Fable Birch with like any rack looks incredible. The two-tone one that's kind of like piebald, any rack looks incredible. What's the one I'm thinking of? It's not Ashen. Isn't there another like silvery one? Or maybe I'm thinking of Spruce even. I'm trying to place that. I think there's another one that I'm missing. How many diamonds have you got since you started playing? We're almost at 1,000 actually. The number's going to be incorrect when we look here. Let me think of somewhere else we could jump to real quick. Where else should we be looking? Not that we have much time, but let's run up through here even just like that far and see what's going on. Since we have a couple minutes in this drink time. Speckled? Maybe that is what I'm thinking of. Yeah. That's the one. That with any rack, I love that too. I get speckled and two-tone confused. Just because... Actually, I don't even know why. My brain does that. Okay, so this number is incorrect. The number will show 1,297. The real number is 997. When Bloodhounds came out, they screwed up the counter and they were counting golds as diamonds, and our number is now 300 higher than it should be. Do you think herd management is bad? I think there's a chance that it's bad for the game and its future. I don't know. I don't necessarily care if other people do it, but it would be very bad for my enjoyment of the game. Like, I don't care. I really don't know if it affects Great Ones or not. I personally think it does. To me, it just seems like Great Ones do show up more for people who herd manage. I mean, the guy that has 12 Great One Moose, I think he herd manages. And I'm not saying, like more power to him, go for it. Just, my point is, he has a lot of Great One Moose, and I believe he herd manages. I don't care about whether it affects Great Ones or not. My thing is how much it affects diamonds, because that is known, definite, and excessive. People have literally thousands of diamond red deer from herd managing red deer. And it makes it to the point that, like, those species diamonds aren't going to be as special. Now, like, does insert random guy who has 1,000,000 diamond red deer, does that make my diamond red deer less special to me? Not really. But if I were to herd manage and shot 1,000,000 diamond red deer, then a diamond red deer in multiplayer or whatever is less special to me, because I've seen them 1,000,000 times. That's why I don't do it, because I'm not a good actor. So when I'm making a video and I find a diamond red deer, I'm not going to sit there and pretend that I think it's amazing when I've shot 1,000,000 of them. But when I haven't shot 1,000,000 of them, and you see that huge frame, that 9 legendary, that gets me going. I don't want it to ever stop. Ashen in the big non-tip rack? Honestly, I didn't care for the big non-tip racks. Not that I didn't like it, I just didn't want it. I just thought the typical rack was my favorite. I ain't gonna lie, I've seen some of the big non-tip racks and some of those first. They are just beautiful. Are you tired of answering the herd management question? No. I don't like the... Well, not that I don't like it, but almost every stream turns into discussing it. Boy, that's some big males. So I'm not going to shoot these, not because I'm herd managing, but because I'm not going to come up here. And I don't want respawns up here. I just want to make sure there's nothing good up here. Because I screwed this up. I think Friday we went to Valmont and I shot a couple of things, and then immediately I realized that I shouldn't have done that, because then I got to check Valmont again. Anyway, I don't get tired of answering it because I do want that other side of herd management to be understood. Because it's kind of reached a point where a lot of new players kind of get into the game and they find out, like, these great ones are a thing, right? So you look it up on YouTube. How do I get a great one? Well, I'll tell you what the YouTube search results are going to say. And they're all going to be herd managing and how to herd manage and all that. And that's great. Like, if it gets you what you want and that's what you're interested in, like, that's awesome. But there are definitely examples in this community of people who herd managed, got their great one, and now feel that species is ruined for them. Red deer's a big example. I don't know if anybody's maybe in the chat right now that has that experience, but I know in this very community some people have had that and talk about it in chat, and I appreciate that. So my only thing is, the reason I don't get tired of answering it, the reason I do answer it, is because I don't want people to have that happen to them, at least without knowing that's a possibility. I feel like I'm herd managing leaving these things. I absolutely hate that it comes to that. Like, I've done this with every grind ever. There's places I don't grind, so I don't shoot the things, but now I feel like I'm herd managing. Like, it bugs me that I know that I wish I didn't know it existed. What's your most unimpressive male moose? I shot a minimum weight, like 30-something score one here on Layton. I didn't record it, though. The one level 1 moose I haven't recorded. Minimum weight. Only minimum I've ever shot. How many great ones in the game? Can you find multiple in one map? It's extremely unlikely that you'll find multiple in one map unless basically you herd manage and stack and all that stuff. I'm not going to explain how that's done because, well, we don't need to get into all that, but it's basically impossible you'll ever just get 2 random spawn ones. If you intentionally do it, like you get a great one to spawn and then you leave it, then you can maybe get another one on the map. How many are there? There's 4 species, whitetail moose, red deer, and black bear. All base game species, so even if you don't own a single DLC map, you can grind for all the possible great ones. Alright, let's do one more run. We've got about 25 minutes to get that done. Gotta go, good stream. Thank you, man. Appreciate you checking it out. Hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Soup. But it was just good to see. Most people in that thread, herd management and like non-herd management-ers, basically agreed with like almost everything there. It shaped my perspective a little bit on herd management because I was more in just like nobody should do it camp. Now I don't care if people do it. Like, it's fine. My only thing is like, does it eventually get to a point where it's herd manage or be left behind? I don't think it does at this point. I think there's enough people that feel the same way I do, that they don't want to ruin the game for themselves, so they won't do it. But if that ever is a thing, then obviously it's a problem. Yeah, I don't care for stacking either, because it's like, when I see a big animal, I want to shoot it, not leave it. Oh, I was going to explain that earlier. I'm glad you asked that. Why do you switch between maps? So it's basically, it seems to get your respawns into their zones properly. So what'll happen is, if we only change the time back to 1400, and then start, doing our typical run again, going to the different zones we go to, a lot of times it seems like the animals are even later getting into their zones, and especially because moose don't get to their zones till seemingly the last half of their drink time anyway. It's usually just best to switch maps real quick. That it seems like it gives the map a little reset, and you can expect to find moose in their normal zones. Wow, big males here too. That's a 4. Okay, can live with that. So, if the small one gets out of the way fast enough, never mind. Just move for us. Oh, I don't know, it might have been a gut shot. So now they're spawning back where they used to. I had a tent there. I don't understand these things, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Bird. I kind of see the same eventuality. I would say it does kind of seem like you either herd manage or you're left behind, because if you herd manage, you can have titles like Lodge Tour with 1,212 great ones. I don't know. I think that's becoming less the case. I think there's an appreciation for non-herd managed things. Like, if you watch in my Discord, in the official Discord, when someone kills a great one that isn't herd managed, they always, here's my great one, it took me 5,000 kills, not herd managed, by the way. And there's always like a wow, like, that's impressive kind of thing from it, which I think is at least cool that it's acknowledged that, like, hey, it seems to take more effort, even if it's just because you're not seeing as many diamonds. Whether or not it affects great ones, I think it's easier to grind when you kill a diamond every couple kills, because it's still like, hey, there's something. What's up, Ace Pilot? How's it going, man? Still 213. Very low bleed rates. Thinking we oof that one, that's okay. What was your first diamond? It was a musk deer. Overall Medved Taiga. 957 score, literally the day after I messed up what would have been like a 980 moose. This is the old scoring system if you're familiar with it. I didn't even mess it up, I actually heart shot it, but I didn't understand consecutive harvests back then, which fortunately now is completely irrelevant. You no longer need to worry about that. But it was a bonus that affected your animal's score, and my consecutive harvest bonus was 0, so I picked him up and he ended up being, I think, a silver. Or maybe a small goal. However that worked. Your tent is gone ever since that last update? Well, I moved that tent, but I do know what you're talking about. There were some issues with the tents again. 'Tis unfortunate. We're gonna go out of order here just because we have hunting pressure there. Is 2 diamonds good for playing for 5 months? I'd say so. Killing a great one without herd management is like fly fishing instead of fishing with bait. I don't know if I entirely agree, but I get what you're saying. Do you think the teaser trailer for the next map might come out tomorrow? What I would do is go and look up the teaser trailer for Reventuli Coast on Expansive Worlds channel and see what date that dropped, and I would probably expect it to be within the same week of this year. Does anybody know if you change PS4 to PS5, do you lose your save data? I don't think so, because you should have a PSN account regardless, because that stuff's cloud saved now. You should be fine, but somebody that actually plays PS4 hopefully can answer you, because that's a guess. That should be back at the lungs. We'll come back for him in a bit. Actually looked like lung liver or something because he was dying fast. Best way to get a diamond turkey? Probably just go to Silver... Well, what turkey do you want? If it's any turkey, I go to Silver Ridge Peaks and just run around in the fields, plink every turkey you see with a 22, rinse, repeat. You'll get one quick. Mr. Snows, there you go. Is there a way to get your PS4 account on PC? There's not. I was really hoping when they added Apex Connect that was going to be one of the features of it, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. You cannot transfer saves. What was I thinking? It's too early to come here. They're never here till late. Alright. Backtrack. I guess we can go here. I just don't want to overdo the pressure. We should move the tent and everything. Let's do that. There's like 5 4-star red deer and albino hind? Multiplayer or single player? Okay, we're gonna switch to tents and tripods. Loadout hasn't saved. I don't even know what I changed about the loadout. It'll be alright. Alright, and we're gonna pick this up. Bring it with us. And over where they've been spawning, we'll place it. And then immediately they're gonna spawn back in the old spot because that's what always happens. Oh, really, Clark? You're on console, right? I've felt like, I don't know, the 338, I just feel like I'm like a tick slower with my follow-ups. What do I miss and how many kills are you at? By the end of this run, we'll be at right about 1,400 on Layton, 2,800 in total. So we'll see how things are looking then. But the only thing this stream that you've missed, trophy-wise, is a troll. What was your biggest grind? Red deer went to 5,600. Black bear were about in that area as well. I don't even know the exact total. I've kind of forgotten where we're at with black bear, but it's over 5,500 anyway. That one hasn't come to a completion though. We still don't have a great one black bear. Never realized how big reindeer had to be to make diamond. It's changed a lot over the years. Back when it was the old scoring system, when trophy rating was just kind of a number, it was like 700 something. But then, with Truax, it was like it used to be 420 something, I think. And then it was 401, and then it's like 430 now. They've moved a lot in terms of what you need. Okay, they've been like, I don't know if that was them coming into their zone that we just spooked to. That's possible. They've been right down in there, though. I don't see any. What we'll do is take our tent and tripod up here on this hill where we should be able to see that spot. Getting 2 per set of moose is easier and they go down faster on lung hits. Maybe you're having a different experience. Maybe your shot placement's different than what I do. I compared 300 and 338 single lung shots, and typically it's about the exact same. If anything, the 300 was a little bit faster. The other thing I tried was with soft points, because I thought maybe soft points would kind of, because you're making single lung shots most times anyway, would be better. Soft points are somehow worse than polymer tips on a single long shot. That should never happen. I don't know when they changed that or screwed that up, but that's definitely not how it used to work. Somewhere in here. Alright, at least for the future that'll be set up. This spot we just went to, I forgot to claim that one again though, so we can at least do that. Maybe just late enough to get to the other spot. Teaser for Reventuli came out May 10th. Really? Was it that early? Huh. Yeah, maybe it will be this week then. How many diamonds per week is good? Because I'm wondering if I need to change hunting spots. It completely depends on your hunting style. Like, if you're just playing single player and doing your thing, a diamond or two per week is pretty solid. If you're playing multiplayer, I would say about a diamond a day is decent. If you're grinding, depends on how you grind. It can be several diamonds a day, it could be a diamond a day, somewhere in there. Love the bear grind. I want to get back to it, but honestly, the thing that has made it tough for me is the amount of kills that we're at. And just that, I don't know, I kind of like Great One Moose better, the look of them, and the idea of having one in my lodge. So, that's where the focus has gone, at least for the grinds. And I'm still hitting Reventuli. Still been on it. There's a, not tomorrow's video, tomorrow's going to be classic, the National Archery Day missions. Wednesday is a pretty sweet Reventuli thing, though. Not the things we're after, by the way. Any luck today? Nothing to speak of. One troll moose. What's the best gun for grinding to get diamond whitetail while hunting? Probably the 308 AR. That's what I'd go with. I'm single player, get a diamond and rare every other day. Yeah, somewhere in there is about what you'd want to get, depending on how much. The thing is too, like, are you hunting 45 minutes a day or are you hunting 8 hours a day? That's gonna matter too in terms of like how many diamonds a week is good. I know, bottom boy, like if I were to kill that turkey, right? Although only so much of that is bad luck, most of it's lack of preparation on my part. I would have been more like, okay, I guess that's where my luck went. But I don't have real life luck either right now, so I don't know what's going on. If I just 0 for 150, I think we had that next shot. I think being 0 for 75 hit too low. That's going to spook anything that's there. Let's go to the next spot. How close can you place tents to an eat zone without spooking them? The concern isn't so much about spooking them, it's actually about them actually spawning. So, basically, if you place your tent less than 200 meters from where the animals will be, because the location of the zone, like the zone icon, isn't always the exact spot where the animals are going to be. If you're within 200 meters of where the animals are, and you fast travel to that tent, they're going to be invisible until you get more than 200 meters away. So you should always place your tent in that 200 to maybe 220 meter range. Only so much luck in a certain area and Kyla's hogging it all up? You're right, that's what it is. Taking it with her Great One Meese and her whatever else. Didn't you get something else good recently? That's not what I'm thinking. I thought you got another, like, major thing. Maybe even another game. Way the Hunter? I don't know. Is a molting pheasant rare? Just an uncommon. Would New England be good for the moose grind? It can be done. I wouldn't say it's an ideal map. Usually, maps with long stretches of water are not great. Now, Layton's a little bit different, because the long stretches of water on Layton look like this. You can see really well. Hirschfeld in the New England, and even kind of Cuatro Colinas, the rivers just aren't nearly as huntable. The blood trails in Way the Hunter are so hard to find, they're definitely tougher. If you're really struggling with it, you can put it on the lowest difficulty, Explorer, and they'll be much easier to see. I enjoy the challenge, though. I like it. Testing herd management in moose, I've been doing 3 or so 8+ hour sessions in a week. 1 diamond for 1,300 herd management kills. From what I've heard, a lot of times takes some time to set that up, but that seems especially low. Need a melanistic pheasant? Rooster melanistics seem very rare. I've had a number of melanistic hens, but it's not what I want. How do you get rid of the backpack on Xbox? If you know, I heard you say you can sneak up on the prey better. Let me see if we can shoot these meese and I'll show you. What are you doing? That shot may have been a touch low. I think it, yeah, I should have got the bottom of the lung. Alright, we got both of them. Let me show you how to take a backpack off. So you're going to want to go to a tent or a outpost, any place you can access your inventory. Once you do that, go into the character section. You got a backpack size down here. Just put it on no backpack. Accept, which I can't accept because I already have no backpack on. Good to go. How many kills are you into this grind? Layton itself, right about 1,400. Moose as a whole, Medved and Layton combined, 2,800. I keep hearing about Africa 2.0 map coming. That would be awesome. From what Beard said, that will not be the next map. What gun's the best for medium game? The new 308? Yeah, I'd say so. The M1 does just about as well. I'm trying to think of other things that fit in that category. The new 7mm is pretty good. Do I have that now? No, I switched loadouts. I like it a lot, but the 308 is still the king. That's interesting, Clark. What's going on, Danny? Couple of schmool males. So where are we going after this? Could try here again. And then maybe that other spot. This one here. Because I think we got there a little bit too early. Out to pick up kids from school? Sounds good. Appreciate you hanging out. Enjoy the beans. What animal would you like to see most added? I really want doll sheep on Yukon. I think that'd be my top request. Coos deer on Rancho would have been awesome. But in my opinion, I mean, coos deer and whitetail can't really be in the same place because coos deer are just whitetail that live in a certain region. It's a subspecies. So, unless they removed whitetail, they can't add coos deer, unfortunately. Just wouldn't be the realistics. Come on, game. There we go. Last minute packing for my Africa trip. Oh, is that tomorrow? What time do you have to, like, leave for that? Marco Polo sheep? If they added a whole, like, if I could pick a whole new map, Marco Polos are, like, way up on my list. But as far as, like, adding a species to an existing map, we don't have anywhere. Do we have anywhere in Asia? I mean, Medved could be, like, both, kind of. Also not the right type of terrain for them. Have you ever heard of a muskox? Indeed. I've been hoping quite publicly that the next map would be Greenland for caribou, muskox, some smaller game like Arctic fox, maybe Arctic wolves. Ptarmigan was mentioned earlier. I'd love that. I think the challenge might be doing the hair on a muskox, but if they could make it right, it'd be very cool. Do you like to play Medved? I do. Even when it was kind of considered one of the lesser maps in the game, prior to, I think, the Reventuli changes, because that made like musk deer and reindeer and moose and stuff just way easier to find. Even back before it was like that, I enjoyed the map. I didn't love the species as much. The reason that I moved my moose grind from Medved to Layton was like, I can only describe it as snow blindness. Like, it wasn't straining my eyes or anything, but it just kind of bugged me that it was just white everywhere. I just needed like a change of pace. Like, I needed a fresh start, if that makes sense. Gotta go, great stream. Thank you, man. Hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Have a good evening, afternoon, night, depending on what time zone you're in. Alright, so we went there. Just checked the spot, didn't have anything. I guess we can go down here. It feels like we were just here. Greenland would be so nice. It would just, I mean, it'd be very Medved-like, but completely new species, which would be good. Really hoping for an Australia map with kangaroos and a great one fallow. We were discussing great one fallow earlier. I mean, I have no doubt that a great one fallow would look incredible. I guarantee if EW designed a great one fallow, just based on like how good the great one whitetails are, the red deer I feel is lacking with fur types, but they've really picked up on fur types with the moose and the bear. Like those, the last two great ones are stunning. I know they could nail a great one fallow, but My one concern with fallow deer is they're already so easy to hunt. I just don't think... I don't know. I don't know how special a great one fallow deer ends up being. I want one. I want one in my lodge. But I know there's going to be 500 shot before I ever, you know, have that happen if they do release them. So I don't know. I think red fox are like... I don't know. I want... As much as I haven't gotten a moose or a black bear yet, and I want those too, I do want it to be challenging. And I don't know that fallow fits that bill. Another map with reindeer? Yeah, I don't know. I felt like reindeer and caribou... The caribou models are kind of meh. Like, what I think they did was they took reindeer, like, textures and stretched them over a slightly bigger model, and it makes their faces look like they got stung by a bee. Like, it's too boxy. It should be more slender and stuff. But antlers and everything need a redo, frankly. But they could just be so much better than they are. They could be one of the favorite species, and unfortunately they're just not. I mean, look at classic. People love the classic reindeer, and they're not even perfect. They could be better. A great one gray wolf? Ooh. That could be fun. Imagine, like, because they hunt you, right, sometimes? You're just going along, you're doing your grind, you're going to a lake, and you just hear, like, that growling behind you, and you turn around, and there's one wolf in there that's way bigger than all the other ones, and maybe it's like a... I don't know. You could do any color you want. Let's do a white color, because then scars would show up really well. You just see that coming at you aggressive. Like, the anxiety and adrenaline of trying to make that shot while you know it's going to be on the move, like trying to get you, would be nuts. I'd be all for that. Oh, nice. Right in the hip on that. That cow really screwed us up. I think that's going to help bring him down faster. The caribou have woodland bodies and barren ground antlers almost. Even for, like, barren grounds, like, I don't think their antlers are as good as they could be. Gotta go. Sounds good, man. Good luck with your turkey chase, and hopefully you get one. I want a great one boar. Yeah, a lot of people talked about, like, a great one hogzilla kind of thing. I actually kind of thought that's what was going to be when great one black bears got added. If you go back and watch, like, literally all my streams leading up to that, I just had, I don't know. I got to thinking about, like, I tried to take a game developer's approach on it, and I was thinking, if they do too many antler species in a row, people are only going to associate great ones with antlers. But I thought maybe, like, hogzilla would be the next thing. Ended up being a bear, but yeah, other non-antler great ones, because we're still at 3 out of 4. I think that'd be good. I hope my great one wolf would look like Jacob from Twilight. Oh my. So I guess you're Team Jacob? That's where we're going here? What lake is this on, Layton? It's a hidden lake, actually. If you look here, there is no lake visible. However, there is a lake there. So I'll try to get you, like, roughly the coordinates. If you look in the bottom right, 5839, 9883. Where do I find whitetail and Layton? They're pretty much all over the map at this point, which does make them tough to hunt. But some good areas, like Southwest is very good. Balmont's got a bunch of them. I think there's quite a few up here, like in Willowpeg and Heighton Peaks, but that might be more so remembering the old Layton. I prefer my wolves glitterly hashed... Glitterly? What did I just say? Glittery? Hashtag Team Edward? I tried. Cow will come back and respawn a piebald? Probably. Probably, sadly. Nah, bro, Team Edward, I just think a wolf with abs would be cool. Hey, I mean, fair enough. Big male. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ah, I thought that was a 5. Actual kind of big male. Wait a minute. There's a dead one. I guess, did we forget to claim something? Oh, it's not dead. This is a cow taking a bath. Never mind. Might have been too high. Well, looks like we're going to wrap up tracking that guy. Semi-large male? Semi. Got a melanistic and leucistic Merriam turkey in the same group. That's really rare now. Like, back in the day, when they came out, they were kind of over-spawning. That was almost, like, expected. Now that's really cool. A great one dog. Like you have a 1 in 10,000 chance every time you get a dog that it's actually just, it spawns as like a Great Dane or something. Can respawns be rare? Yeah. It's not, unfortunately, it kills me that this is like information that's understood now because of herd management. Not everything is entirely random with respawns. But what is random is fur type. Every time you kill something, there's a chance it comes back as a rare. Is the 300 from the power pack? The 300 is actually from the Yukon Valley DLC, so you have to own the map to get the 300. You can, though, get something that's pretty similar. I would say it's just like maybe 5%, 10% worse, the 338 bolt action from the Hunter power pack you're talking about, if you don't own the map DLC. What is happening here? Wait. So there's a wounded one that did get away? And I didn't see him this time either? The biggest travesty in this game is the changes to the fur rareness. Yeah, it's got me all screwed up now. I don't know what's what. Every time I shoot something on Reventuli Coast, I have to message Mel and be like, was this a rare? What about this one? Is this a rare? Usually they're not. Oh, don't spread that, Kyla. That is definitely not real.
Oh gosh, all for the clicks, come on. You gotta be naive enough and believe. You know what happened.
I was naive enough to think I'd get a great one moose today. I was also thinking about a meme gun, for example, a laser gun for all difficulties. What about a paintball gun? Yeah, god dang it. It's gonna be herd management again. If you're herd managing, you just, every level 1 and 2, you just coat in paint, so when you see it, like the paint should stay there, it should persist. So every time you see it, it's marked as a don't shoot that one. That's the way. What's going on? Just have fun. Good to see you, man. Long time no see, but I'm still around watching all the videos. I appreciate it, dude. Good to see you. Unfortunately, we are just about to wrap up the stream. Maybe since we have a little bit of drink time left, we can hit one more spot. I don't... Oh, we should have spooked things here. Let's try our new spot here, see if there's anything in. Anyway. This will be the last thing we check. Just blow up the trophy. I don't think it'd be a terrible, like, April Fool's thing to add. But then it should just, yeah, it should give you the none medal if you use it. You ear tag your HM Smalls? There you go. Oh, that's, yeah. Look, there's a great one. That's how they stand. You can tell it's a great one because of the way that it is. That's pretty neat. Anyway. Oh, there's 2. Okay. So, see, the problem is this thing's hooves are blocking what I'm trying to aim. It's got like the heart almost perfectly covered. Got that under the cow. Got that one in the lungs. Alright, so we got 2 bonus ones before we wrap up. Can we 360 no-scope the next great one for a true montage? Someone else can, not me. I'm not saying that I'm moving away from the idea of using a bow. I still plan to do that. The reason that I use the bow isn't to, like, add some challenge and some intrigue. It's really because I just want to force myself, like, I want to make sure this special moment, this rare thing that we've worked up to, isn't over in 4 seconds when we see it and just kill it with the 300. Because everybody knows if it only lasts 4 seconds, it's just not good. So, by using the bow, we're guaranteed to, like, we have to get close, we gotta, you know, call it in, stock it, whatever. That's why I use the bow. And sometimes I wonder with things like the bear and the moose that have taken so much time that I really don't want to mess up, if I ought to just use a gun, like a handgun, and get close. It's a maybe. Still no great one moose, man. We're trying. I'm interested in that warning call. Why is my marker not working? There we go. Generally that direction. We'll check tracks. Maybe we'll kill him. Then we'll be done. Imagine extending a stream in 2023. This is like the Warthog. Good deal, bot. At least it's not 4 seconds. What would you like to see as a great one? Mule deer, even though that's not a base game species, and EW has said themselves they're going to continue with the base game species theme for great ones. I just think great one mule deer would be... It would be hard to mess up. I think they'd be forced to make them incredible because mule deer are incredible. Alright, we know that's a small male. No such other ones around other than that cow that seemingly just spawned in. I swear I watched it pop into render. Anyway, no great ones, no diamonds today. We got trolled again, but suppose that is what it is. We'll see what happens this week. There's a classic video tomorrow. I'm planning on Reventuli Wednesday, I think Wait Hunter Thursday, and who knows what's going to happen with tomorrow's stream. As we're talking about last year, Reventuli was already revealed by this time, so maybe on stream there's going to be something to talk about. Maybe there'll be a news video too. I'd like to get an extra moose grind video in somewhere. We'll see. Depends on what happens. But anyway, that's going to do it for this stream. So as always, thank you guys for watching it. Thanks for hanging out for the extra 5 minutes today. Thanks for all the support, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video doing the National Archery Day missions in Classic. Bye!